Hi folks and welcome to today's video, rehab routine for low back disc bulges and herniations. Now, I'm going to make a lot of great content for those folks out there suffering with low back pain issues such as sciatica nerve pain, herniated discs, bulging discs, lumbar stenosis, arthritis. If that's you, hit that subscribe button. You'll be notified when I upload some great new content to get you back on the road to recovery. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. Okay folks, so today I want to talk about a rehab routine. This is when you've gone through the first, what I would say, 4 weeks of the beginner phase. We're moving on now to the next phase, more of an intermediate phase and forward. Now, if you've not checked out my other video, which is sort of initially herniated the disc, what you can do as far as exercises go, there's going to be another video pop up at the end of this one, or you can go to it right now. It's in the description down below. For those folks who've just been diagnosed with herniation, you haven't got to your rehab physiotherapist yet, you can definitely check that video and that will guide you through the first 4 weeks. This is for the next stage. For a lot of people I've spoke to, clients I've worked with, they sometimes have to wait 6, 8, 12 weeks, 3 months before they can actually start physical therapy, and they don't know what to do, they don't know where to turn, they don't make their injury worse. This is what I'm trying to make this content for you guys to help you, okay? So this is for your 4 weeks in, you've done some rehab already. What do you do next? Okay, so we're going to get right started right now. There's going to be a series of exercises we're going to go through. In the description I will list all the repetitions you're going to be doing, sets, etc. So first thing we're going to do, we want to get some mobility back in that spine. The first 4 weeks I do advocate avoiding as much flexion as possible, but the spine, it does have flexion and extension. We need to do a little bit of spinal mobility work, which is simply going to be a cat-cow or cat-camel. So I'm down on the floor here, I'm on all fours. Now, I do this a little bit differently than some people. You may see people do this very extreme into flexion and then very extreme into extension. I tell people, find neutral, and then I want you to go 25% up, so 25% into the cat, and 25% into the camel. So you're not going to the end range, you're doing a mid-range, mobilizing the discs in the spine before we start doing some work. I have found that if people go to the extreme end ranges, it can cause pain, it can exacerbate symptoms, so I like to keep it personally in this, what we call pain-free range, okay? So I would do 10 to 12, so it's like 5, 6 in each direction, repetitions, 1 time, and then we can start. We're going to start with the bird dog, legs only. Now, we're going to be in a knees hip width apart, hands, shoulders are just a bit wider than shoulders. You want to find that neutral, so not heavily extended, not heavily rounded. Neutral position, tuck my chin in. We're going to use the legs, just only the legs for this bird dog exercise today. So I'm going to push one leg out, and imagine I'm pushing it backwards, like I'm actually pushing it that way, not up towards the ceiling, okay? So we brace the abs, brace them really tightly so I don't fall over to the side. I take this leg, I extend it back. And you see my toe is actually quite not that far off the ground. I don't like this motion here. It puts the back, for me, into too much extension, okay? So I'm going to extend the leg back. Now, my upper body, I want to push off the floor, okay? So I'm bracing up the top here. I'm not sunk through, my chest isn't towards the floor. I push away from the floor. So I'm not sunk towards the floor, I push away. And I hold that position. So it looks like this. I push the leg back, hold for a count of 1, 2, bring it back, I touch the ground, push, squeeze my glute, bracing my abs, keep it all nice and strong, shoulders, low back, hold, 1, 2, and bring it back. I would come off my arms, we'll do 4 reps on one side, shake off the arms a little bit, come back, brace everything, get myself in a good position. When I'm nice and taut, nice and tight, extend the right leg, hold, 1, 2, bring it back in, extend, 1, 2, bring it back in, 2 more, hold, 1, 2, back in, hold, 1, 2, back in, and rest. So I would start with 4 repetitions on each side, and you're going to do this whole circuit twice, okay, but we're going to do it in a circuit fashion first. All right, so bird dog, legs, each side, 4 repetitions to start with. You can move up to 5, 6 the next few times you do it. Take a little second rest between each leg, takes the stress off the shoulders. We now move, after about 30-45 second rest, into the dead bug. Now, it sounds a bit gruesome, okay? It's not that at all. It just resembles a half-dead beetle. Sometimes you see them on the floor, how they move their limbs. So we start here, on your back. Now, I want you to lift up one knee, then the other knee, okay? You can make a right angle at the knees there, arms directly above my shoulders. My left foot is going to go down towards the ground as my right arm goes towards the ground behind me and come back. Now, what you want to do here is hold my abs really taut, tight, pull your low back into the floor, okay? So what we're trying to do as the arm and leg go down, we're trying to avoid our back arching up. See, I've got space there. Okay, I want to keep it flat on the ground so I can't get my hand in there. Because as my leg drops and my arm goes back, there's a lot of tension placed on this region. My back wants to pop, but I want to engage my abs, hold them tight, and then bring it back, okay? And you can alternate. So now we'll go right leg, left arm, and back. Opposite side, and back. Controlled motion, and back. Now you'll be aiming for 16 to 20 moves in total, okay? Really focus on keeping those as the arm goes back and the leg goes down. You have to tighten those abs up really tight and come back. See the pace I'm moving at, slow and controlled. You don't want to get too aggressive with this. You don't want momentum. Relax. So 16 to 20 movements in total. You want to take 30 to 40 seconds rest. And we're going to move on to the next exercise. Now, in the previous 4 weeks, you were doing a very basic hip extension move. I'm going to make that a little bit harder now to make it into a one-legged hip extension. Same position. All we need to do here is take my right ankle across my left knee, place it there, and all we're going to do, can bring the left a little bit closer in towards my bottom. Hands, I'll put them palms down, give us a little bit of help and a bit of leverage. I'm going to squeeze my left glute. I'm going to lift up, hold, 1, 2, and then come down. I'm not trying to drive all the way up to the ceiling. I just want to lift, squeeze, engage my glutes. There's about 4-5 inches of space, and bring it back down. Squeeze, lift, hold, and bring it back down. Squeeze, hold for a count of 2, and bring it back down. If you struggle to get ankle across knee, what you can do, you can just take this leg, take it behind the knee here like so, okay, and do the same thing. You push up, hold, 1, 2, and come down. Push up, hold, 1, 2, and come down. And I would look at ranging minimum 8 up to 15. Now, again, don't push it excessively hard, okay? I try to advise, go for the minimum reps first time you do it. So in that case, it was 8. Next set, maybe go for 9, okay? You're gonna be taking 1 or 2 days rest between these workouts. Then you go for 10 repetitions. You progressively, incrementally increase the repetition. Don't just blast out 15 right away because it's something brand new you've never done before. Can lead to pain issues, etc. You want to increase the body's tolerance in a progressive format, okay? So you take your 35, 45 up to a minute's rest, whatever you need. After this exercise, of course, you do both sides. Then we're going to stand up. I'm going to do what's called the split squat exercise. Now, I've talked about this many, many times before. I'll show you from the front and the side. So, my feet hip width apart. I basically lift up my back heel. I'll show you the angle here, like so. I bend both knees, slowly, slowly, slowly towards the ground, and push back to show you from the side. And you can use, if you need to, you can use a wall for support. It's not a problem. Both feet face forward, chest up, okay? Tall posture, looking straight ahead. Bend both knees with control, almost touch the ground, and push back up. Again, look at the speed I'm moving at. There's no momentum. It is slow and controlled. Again, you would aim for 8 to 15 on each side. Switch sides, shake off the legs a little bit. Then you're going to take 30 to 40 seconds rest, up to a minute, whatever you need. We're going to move into some upper body work. Now, I do advocate upper body work because it teaches the body how to brace when you're pushing, pulling. which of course in daily life, opening heavy doors, moving furniture, vacuuming, if you don't have a Roomba, right? You need this external limb strength because all of that stress gets pushed back onto the spine, onto the lower back. It is, in my opinion, very good to be strengthening the whole body. All right, just going to move slightly to a different location to do 2 upper body exercises. Okay, so 2 important upper body exercises I do advocate for is something to do with pushing and rowing. Okay, the particular pushing exercise I advocate in this section is a 1-arm band press. Yes, you will need to grab some bands. You can get them in Walmart, Amazon, okay, maybe $8, $10, whatever. You can wrap this around a sort of a door. If you go to the gym, you can put this around a frame in the gym. And basically what we do here, right leg is forward, left hand, okay, strong posture. I push, I press, bring it back. I'll just show you so you can see me directly front here, to the front of my chest, into the center, out to the side. Now what this is doing, the band, it's trying to pull me back. So I'm using my core to stabilize, to stop myself come back. So this is a dynamic core stabilizing exercise whilst you are working the front part of your body, chest, shoulders, and your triceps, okay? Right leg forward, left hand, push. We change, of course. Right hand, left leg forward. Aim for 10 to 15 repetitions. Then you would switch that out for a 1-arm band row. Again, same band, same level. Got the hand in front here. Left leg forward, right hand palm down. My shoulders not hiked up to my ear. Down here, row into my side and release. Row into my side and release. To show you from the back there. You see, so I'm here, row and release. I'm not rowing up here, getting my trap engaged, keeping my elbow low and release. Again, 10 to 15 repetitions, pressing, rowing. Take, I said, 30, 45 minutes rest, however much you need between the exercises, and then we continue back to the ground work. See you in a second. Now, once you've done those 2 upper body exercises, you would rotate back around one more time that full circuit. So back on the ground for the bird dog with the legs, dead bug, etc. One more round through, gives you 2 rounds. It's going to take approximately 25 to 30 minutes to complete that circuit of exercises. Then what I'd like you to do, on the next day, you'll be doing your stretching. Now the stretching work, I linked to a video, and it's also in the description down below, of a set of stretches for you to do. You're also going to be doing decompression work at least 5-6 times a week as well. Primarily what's called the El Doa work. I'm a really big advocate of that as well. That will happen 5-6 days a week, preferably before you go to bed. Okay, so we've got this workout day, then we've got a resting stretch day, workout day, resting stretch day, workout day, and then typically a couple of stretching days off, if you will. It is important to have at least one day, typically Sunday for most people, where you do virtually nothing, okay? You just go for a walk, right? You should be walking, of course, every day. That's the only thing you would choose to do on that day. You need that time for recovery. But at this stage, you've done your first 4 weeks, you should be doing this particular workout 2 to 3 times a week, leaving a day or 2 between each session. Now, once you've finished that second circuit, what I get people to do is to come onto the ground again. They basically put the feet up on a wall, and they just, or a wall, it could be a small cushion, they just lie in this position here, okay, for just 5 to 10 minutes. Big deep belly breaths, just relaxing off that lower back area, relaxing the lower back muscles before getting up and starting or carrying on with their day, okay? It's very important to give yourself a few minutes at the end of the workout just to, and this gives you a little bit of decompression in the lower back. It doesn't matter if your legs are a foot, 6 inches off the ground, as long as they're elevated, it takes the stress off this muscle here. It's called the hip flexor muscles, which pull in the lower back. Having your legs directly flat is not the same, okay? You have to have the legs elevated to some degree to get that relief, okay? Spend 5, 8, 10 minutes in this position, slowly get up, and go about your day. Okay guys, I think hopefully that's been useful for you, that little workout. As I said, there's 2 videos are going to pop up very soon. There's going to be the previous 4-week workout, and there's also one to those stretching routine I do advocate for. Okay, listen, any questions, comments, hit me up in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, of course. And if you are struggling with your own pain problems, send me an email, it's down there below. book a free call with me. I'm glad to help as many people as I can. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.